Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and give DJ a light fade, light temp fade. First I'm going to bald out the back with the outliner right below the earlobe. Want to keep it nice and clean. Straight line right across the back, right below the earlobe. Okay, and now I'm gonna do an open blade on the side right above the earlobe, and I'm not gonna go above the peak in the front. So straight line right there from the peak to the top of the earlobe with an open blade. And we're gonna match it on both sides. Open blade, top of the earlobe. That one went a little high, but it's okay, we're gonna fix it. Match that side. Now I'm gonna take an open blade and bump out the line in the back. It's all about the flick of the wrist. Bump out that line in the back. And depending on which way the hair grows, you might have to turn the clipper to go against the grain. Gets kind of tricky sometimes in the back. Now I'm going to put on a number 1 guard or a 00, depending on what clipper you're using. And then we're going to bump out that line on the side with a 00. Now this one you do not want to go too high. You just want to get that just slightly above the earlobe and maybe midway in between the tape and the peak, about halfway, just to get rid of that line. You're still gonna see probably 2 lines now, but it's okay. We just need to knock it down. And we're gonna do the same thing in the back, 00, bump out that line. So now you're probably gonna see 2 lines now, but we're gonna work it. So when you use the 00, you're gonna still see the bald line, and then you might see a line above that now, where you're fading with the 00. So we do that on each side. We do it in the back. Now I'm gonna open the blade, so it's a high 00 or high 1, and we're gonna bump out the line. So now I close it back. That's a 00 fading. Open it up. Open blade 00. Boom, 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 boom. Fade that out. Ha ha ha. Fade it out. Nice and easy. Easy work. Yeah. That's looking good. Looking real good. Stay below the tape line. When you open the 00, you can go all the way up to the tape line, but you don't want to go too high, just to get that nice fade. Make sure you flick the wrist. Now I put on a number 2 or a 0. I'm just gonna get the dark line at the top now, underneath the tape, and I'm gonna go all the way behind the ear with this. Gonna fade that out. Get that the dark line out. Do it on both sides. And yeah, right above the earlobe, right below the tape line. We're just gonna knock out that dark area so it blends really nice. And I'm gonna go all the way around the ear with that, just so it doesn't look too choppy. We need it to look like a nice fade. So that part looks like it needs to be faded, but it's okay because when we line it up, you're not going to see that part. So I'm going to go all the way behind the ear with a 0, number 2. So I'm going to take the 0 or number 2 and fade it around the whole head, all the way from the side to the back. Now I took off the blade. I'm back with an open blade now, just bumping out the line, the ball line, as best as we can with the 0, no guard. We can adjust the blade accordingly to get rid of that line. Open blade, go against the grain, and you might have to turn the clipper sideways because a lot of people's hair in the back grows differently to the side. Now I'm going to line it up with the outliner, so I'm going to comb down the front to get all the loose ends, combing down the front of the hair. And now we're looking for the highest point where there's no hair. That's where you want to start the lineup. And now we make it even all the way to the side. Do not push back the line on the side where the peaks are. You want to keep that as far out as possible. You do not want to push it back. Keep it as low as possible. Hey, that's my Aunt Peach. Came to see. That's Justin. And they're all checking out DJ getting shaped up at Grandma's. So just shaping up the sides, sideburns. Give it a nice round curve under the peak. Cleaning up the tape line. Making sure there's no loose hairs or missed hairs. Make sure it's even. Now we're going to start shaping up the back here. Come straight up around the ear. Give it a nice clean tape up. Now you're definitely going to want to use the side of your outliner to get that round curve around the ear. That's why the T outliners are the best to use for shaping up. Clean. That's how we do it. There's nothing to it. Nice, clean, sharp lineup. Looking nice. Well blended. Take your time on the outline. You don't want to rush it. This is the icing on the cake here. This is what makes it look good. So take your time. Make sure there's no hair. Dust it off so you can see the outline really good. Make sure it's nice and even. You don't want any bumps in the line. You want straight lines. So we do not rush when you're doing a lineup. Shape up his goatee, the mustache, get it nice and shaped up. Very nice. Now we're going to do the same to the other side. Now we kind of match, just leveling out the outline, making sure the tape in the front is level. You don't want one side higher than the other. So that's what I'm doing right now, just making sure that it's level and it's even. So I noticed this side was a little low, so I'm bumping it up a little bit just to match the other side. Now don't push that back at all. That you gotta be real careful in those corners right there. Make sure it stays as natural as possible, but yet lining it up to give it a sharp look. Now we're gonna round up the sides right here, give them some sideburns. Of course, using the edge of the T-outliner blade. Make sure you clean that up nice and sharp. Lovely. Now I'm going to shape up around the ear. Get behind the ear. Nice and round. And shape it up right down the neck. Make sure that line is nice and straight coming down the neck. And then just cleaning up the neck hair, getting all those woofers off the neck. Gotta get rid of those woofers. And that looks good. So right now, DJ wants 2 slashes in his eyebrow. Whenever you're doing slashes in the eyebrow, make sure that you do them very slim. You do not want to gash someone's eyebrow off. You just want a small, skinny line going straight through. Take your time, do not rush, or it could be a disaster. You want to use the edge of the outliner just to get that line, skinny line. You don't want to get it thick at all. Just a slash. That's all it is. Now I'm just shaping up the side there, any loose hairs sticking out, just so it looks nice and neat. There you go. That looks like it right there. Just get that side nice and shaped up. Just gonna touch it up one more time. Let's see what we got. Oh, I'm just touching up the top of the eyebrow because it was sticking up. Get some loose hairs sticking up there. And again, real skinny lines. Whenever you do eyebrows or lines in the eyebrow, you want to make them very slim, very skinny. There you go. Boom. Now it's time to complete the cut with a razor tape. Razor shape up always completes it and gives it that sharp razor look. That's gonna take any stubble, any leftover hair that you might have missed. Now you definitely want to pull the skin to make sure that you can get the skin as flat as possible without any resistance, because if you don't do that, you're going to pull the skin and you're not going to be able to cut the hair. So that's why you want to keep the skin tight. Usually at the top right here is the easiest because the skin is already tight. Just go up against it, get that, all the stubble, any hair that was missed by the clipper, or if the clipper didn't cut as low, the razor is going to get it real low and clean. Now you want to be careful when you're doing this. You do not want to cut against the grain if you're shaving someone, but usually on the top of the head you should be fine. Around the top and the side of the head you shouldn't have any problems with going against the grain, but definitely on the face and under the neck is usually sensitive. So we're going, just shaping up the side, getting the sideburns nice and sharp. Boom, boom, boom. Of course, pull the skin, get it nice and tight. And I think there you go. You just got yourself a really crispy cut. Real sharp, crispy, clean, smooth cut. Only only at Smooth Cuts Barbershop. But this one is a exclusive special at Grandma's house. It's always a great thing when your dad's a barber. Get crispy right in the comfort of your own home. Thanks for tuning in. Catch you guys next time. Like and subscribe and share. 1.